Good morning everybody, Dan here from Solo Venture, and today we're going to be looking at the One Tigris Backwoods Bungalow tent, and also I'm going to show you a top tip which will get your fire going and started no matter what the conditions. Stay tuned. So here we have it guys, the One Tigris Backwoods Bungalow. I've been looking at this tent for a while, and I've always, I've wanted to get one just to see what it was like. So I've been looking on various places, and I've managed to get a good one second hand. And when you buy things and it kind of doesn't work out, it's not like what you imagined it, or this isn't the case actually. It's everything what I imagined it to be. It's really well made, it's very functional, and it's very basic. But basic is good in my eyes. I don't like too much complication in my life. Especially with tents, loads of different poles. You get the poles around the wrong way and all that sort of stuff. And if the conditions are bad and you just need shelter, this is the one. So let's have a look. So first of all, you just peg it out on the ground. So there's 4 main tent pegs on each corner. Where the tent pegs go, you've got this nice robust webbing sewn in piece of material here, and some good decent cordage which is attached to that for your peg to actually go in. Pegs are really good, nice bright green aluminium. They are quite small, but they're hard wearing and robust. To erect the tent and get it up, there is no other poles with it, so you have to improvise. You can do what I've done here and just grab some sticks from wherever you are, or you can use walking poles like I've done on the other side. Just get it the right height. For me, it was just above hip height. Cut that stick and then there you go, and it just lashes off from there and down. There's even an eyelet there for the top of your walking pole to go into, or indeed bivvy poles. There's a back flap which also pegs out from the rear, and behind that back flap is a vent. See that when we go inside in a minute, and that also pegs out. It's just missing a center peg here. You've also got 2 storm straps behind, which pulls it off, which is always good. And there you see I've used walking pole for the other side, just lash that to a tree. If we didn't have poles, if we were in if I had a longer ridge line, then of course I could have just attached each end to a tree, which would work fine as well. Let's go inside. Nice storm flaps here, and they also cover with Velcro. Good decent zips. Zips off both sides. And there you go. Loads of room inside, definitely for 2 people. But for me, this is perfect. So I'm going to be using this next year when I go out to the Yukon. I'm going to be doing a solo canoe trip for 2 weeks. So I think this is going to be the one for me. So it's also got a fly sheet, which I'm definitely going to need out there. And as you can see, you've got this nice porch, which comes out, which adds a lovely admin area into it, where you'll just pull it out and then get some more sticks just to stake that out. So you've got that nice big admin area in front, sorry. Let's have a closer look inside. So I always have a look at the seams and stuff like that on these tents, make sure that they're well made and they're stitched and they're taped in as well. This hasn't been used much at all, and you've also got that kind of bathtub design where it comes up from the floor, which is always good in case you get torrential rain. And there's that vent at the back, which you'll definitely need for condensation, so that needs to be clear and pegged out. But overall, I think it's great design. Does what it says in the tin. It's robust, and I love this admin area where you can just peg out. Give you a good field of vision as well, especially for me. If I've got bears lurking around in the Yukon and stuff, I can see out and still get sheltered. Let's peg it out and see what that looks like. Okay guys, so firelighting tip, emergency firelighting tip. For myself, I guide on the river a lot, so I do a lot of canoe trips over several days. A lot of them are in Scotland, so a lot of the time it's raining, and sometimes somebody might come out the canoe coming over a rapid. Might be a couple of teams that come out of the canoes, and they're going to be cold. So what I want to do is get them warm as soon as possible. I want to get a fire going quick. If it's been raining for days and days, everything is going to be soaking wet. So you want something with a quick ignition source. And I think I used to carry with me for years, and I still do, is old bits of rubber inner tube. So little bits of that, like that, get that on your fire base, and I obviously gather as much light stuff, light tinder as you can, and then that'll burn for a while, and that'll be a good accelerant. But one thing I've been wanting to try for a while is this tip here that an old friend gave me, which I quite like the idea of. This is the first time I've tried it, actually. It's basically a champagne cork, which has been doused in petrol. And these fit in little containers like this, or the old camera film containers. They'll fit in there perfectly. So put your cork in, fill it with a little bit of petrol, leave it for a while, and then after a time, you know, the petrol will go into it like a sponge, and that, you know, ultimately gets infused with petrol. And these little fire starters are great to have just in the bottom of your kit, just in case, you know, you've got damp or soaking wet conditions. So here we go. Doused cork, yeah, make sure it's all taped up and stuff. It's not going to burst when it's in your kit, but let's give it a go. I always like to have a fire base on the ground before I light the fire, just some fuel for that stuff to go on, rather than just the raw ground straight away. You're off that ground, and you've got that first source of fuel. I've gathered my tinder, my smaller stuff here. I need to get a fire going quick. So there it is. Still got a little bit of residue of petrol in there. It's actually swollen up, and it won't fit, and it won't come out of the tub, which is great. Top tip straight away. There you go. So there's a top tip. You could probably light it as it is now, or put it in a container which is slightly bigger than the cork, because the cork's going to swell up. Okay. We'll put that away as well. I mean, this could be an emergency piece of equipment that we could use should we need to, because this has obviously had petrol in it. So we'll keep hold of that container. Got our cork. Let's see how effective it is. Just obviously be careful. It's been doused in petrol, but just as I thought, there it goes. It was chucking it down with rain. You know, if it was still chucking it down, I've no doubt this thing would just do exactly what it's doing now. Get your fuel, get it on there, instant fire. And this could be a survival situation as well. Certainly when I go out to the Yukon, I'm going to be making a few of these things to have in the bottom of my bag, just in case. It is quite damp at the minute here. It has been a little bit of rainfall, not as much as I wanted, but that's burning away nicely. I imagine that will burn for a long time. So even though you put a load of damp wood on top of that, over time, that cork burning away there will dry that fuel above it, and it'll eventually get your fire going. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe and add any comments in you want. I hope you enjoyed it. That's the Backwoods One Tigris Bungalow. I think it's safe to say that this is the one I'm going to be taking. Super happy with it. And little survival tip there for you for lighting fires in foul conditions. Cork infused with petrol in a container. Remember to get it slightly bigger than the cork. All right. Let's see you next time, guys. Lots more good stuff coming up. Survival tips. We're going to be doing filming my canoe trips, and my canoe trips sort of training ready for the Yukon next year. So lots to look forward to. And thanks so much for the subscribers so far. We got 55, I think. So we're just starting out. And yeah, please spread the word and let's get that number bumped up. See you soon.